That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him.
The 12 days of, builds of, the holidays. It's that time of year again. For me, it started in September. The cooling of the days, the changing of the leaves. My mind and heart goes to family and friends, the festivities of the holiday season. And so here I am, sneaking out to the shop every single chance I get, trying to crank out the 12 builds I want to do over the next 3 weeks. Gifts, and decors for children and adults. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I have no actual release schedule for the next 3 weeks. No rhyme, no reason. I'm building as I can. They all will be scrap wood. They all will be small. And I think I found the scraps we need. Today's build is for a youngster or a youngster at heart. I got one chunk of 2x4. Actually, it's only 3 inches wide. I think I ripped the roundovers off on a previous gig. I think what I'm going to do is rip this tear out and get it down to 1 inch thick. I think a 2x4 is a little too thick for me, and for some reason, I don't want to do 3/4 inches. My mind works in mysterious ways. I try not to ask why anymore. It led me to my wife, so it can't all be bad. And this 3/4 inch board, I'll keep that for now. And we also need a dowel. I really need to get a doweling jig. But I picked these up at Ocean State Job Lot when I see them for $1.50, so it's not that bad. And of course, I use my old foam brush handles as well. Smile for the camera. Any day in the shop is a good day. Plug the table saw in, adjust the fence, and grab the push stick. Oh, and the glasses. Rip halfway through, flip and rip the other half. You can use 3/4 stock here. If you don't have a table saw, no worries. Throw the PPE on the bench top because it looks cool. I check out the dowel situation one more time. This has got me a little concerned. Do I have the right length, the thickness? And truthfully, I have no idea at this point what I'm looking for. I do know I want to cut a hole in this new 1x3 we have, and I think a 2-inch hole is perfect. I got this whole kit for Christmas. I have amazing in-laws, always buying me tools and socks. Lots of socks. They really love the socks. Takes a minute to snap it all together. But then I hit up Old Red, my tiny Bauer drill press. You can drill it by hand, but I'm old and feeble, and so I like the leverage and ease of my $70 drill press. I clamp it down so it doesn't spin off or spin my hands into the danger zone. That might just be the best soundtrack ever, Top Gun. Well, no, I really love the Lost Boys soundtrack too. Maximum Overdrive as well. And of course, last week's Eddie and the Cruisers. What's your favorite soundtrack? I traced a larger circle around the hole we just cut out and extended into a handle. I'm going by eye, touch and feel. And no, it's not a key. Lines done, we drag out the scroll saw. At 1 inch thickness, the little wen that could does just fine. I don't get too close to the curves. I'll sand them in the next step. Well, maybe it is a key. While Old Red is out, I take out my adjustable hole cutter and cut a 2.5 inch hole out of the 3/4 inch material we set aside. I really debated using a laser to get a 3-inch wheel out of it, but settled for this. Taking the key, I sand into the curves, trying to keep the same thickness all the way around that hole we'd have. I sand it all smooth and round over the edges. If you have OCD, don't watch and use a router. I've said it before, I love the hand look that this method gives. I use it all the time. Back at the bench top, I realized I did a boo-boo. I forgot to drill my hole before I cut the hole out and before I cut the key out. So now I have to improvise. Using some spacers, I level it out and clamp it to the bench. Then drill down and into the bottom as straight as I can. Then flip it over, brace and clamp, and drill it the other way. It's not perfect, and in fact, I wish I had been braver and gone quicker with the drill bit. I got a little tear out. But I think we can work with it. I hope. Now comes the part every YouTuber skips over, and I get it. It's sanding, and it's boring. But really, I would guess that sanding is half the time on a project this size, maybe more. I use every trick I got. A sanding wheel, 90% clearance at Staples of all places. A file, and some sandpaper until I get it smooth. Then I move on to my 2.5-inch wheel. I really wanted to use a 2-inch plug from the keyhole here, but thought it was just a touch too small. Select a bit and drill a hole in the center of the plug. Shove the dowel in the hole, and chuck it into my drill, and do things I probably shouldn't do on camera. Sanding the wheel. I guess we'll call it that for now. It actually goes real well, especially on the round over edges. You can see it as you hold the sandpaper there. The edges change color as it begins to smooth. Well, until it breaks. And I didn't even get a good camera angle of it. It just snapped off. I move on to the benchtop sander to finish it all off. Now, the dowel needs a point. I grab my old pencil sharpener. No, I didn't steal this from first grade. Crank it out a few times. Then smooth it all up with 80, 150, and 220. Then round over the other end. Forgive me, I can't wait any longer. I'm going to shove the dowel in through the wheel and make this top. Come on. You know what it is, right? Wrap a string around it and grip it and rip it John Daly style. And I mean, come on. That was awesome. I love it. We got to try it with the flatter surface, though. I can laugh now because I know how it all turns out. I mess with it, slide the wheel up. Nope, still nothing. More string, more speed. Nope, still not working. Too long. Then I dulled it and shazam. It was either that or booyah. I flattened the tip a touch and slowed down my pull, and we have a winner. Now we need a handle. I scrounge around, find something from my burn pile, and go for it. I drill a hole, sketch out a little pull thingy with finger indents because I can, and it's the right thing to do. Remember, this cost us all of, I don't know, 25 cents of a 2x4. The least we can do is put our heart and soul into it, and maybe leave a couple fingerprints at the wen as well. The finish, really, it comes down to you. I want red and blue. Come on, New England here. Patriot fan, jumping back on that bandwagon. Right, red and blue, watered down acrylic. You would expect nothing else from me. I've been doing it since the dawn of time. No paint strokes, let that grain show through just a touch. Going to leave that spindle clear, and once dry, we'll hit it all up with some poly. And here we are. Day one, build one. A toy spinner. Yeah, I love it. You hear me say it all the time, but it's pretty simple. I build what I want, so no excuse. I better love it. And yeah, I think I could fine-tune it a bit. Bigger wheel, thinner wheel, but honestly, the best part of this is going to be watching my brother-in-law try to show his kids how to use it. and be all like, pull harder, faster. It'll frustrate him to no end. And really, isn't that what family's all about? All right, only 11 more to go. If you liked hanging out in the shop today, please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I have no set schedule right now, sneaking it in when I can. And in the words of Aerosmith, you don't want to miss a thing. As always, thanks for watching and choosing to spend 15 minutes building with me. Until the next time.